Quantum computing stocks are taking a huge hit on Wednesday. Is it because of Jensen Huang's comments on quantum computing? Is it because the market is going into a, let's say, bearish moment? Or has the market suddenly realized that these stocks are not worth billions of dollars? Let's discuss that, because at the time of making this video, Rigetti stock is down 40%, quantum computing down 38.2%, D-Wave down 38%, IONQ down 31% as well. Reason number one was this: quantum computing announces equity offering of $100 million. Shares were down 21% before the market opens. So they offered 8.16 million shares in a private placement at $12.25 per share for gross proceeds of $100 million. Bear in mind that the day before, the shares were trading above $17 in the public markets. The net proceeds will be used for working capital and general corporate purposes. With the anticipated net proceeds combined with existing cash reserves, the company expects to have sufficient resources to continue advancing and expanding the development and manufacturing of its photonics, thin film lithium niobate, and quantum technologies. Remember what I told you in the previous videos: a rising tide lifts all boats. Which means when there is momentum, when there is one company announcing a certain thing, for example, with Google Willow, it basically lifted all of the quantum computing names. And the same goes for when we have something like this, everything comes down at the same time. Now, this is no surprise. I expected more companies to actually raise more money at those prices. I know some of them did. For example, Rigetti actually raised money at $2. Now, when they did that, I believe there was something that was written that said that they could not raise more money in the next 2 months or so. Maybe we're going to see a raise in February, depending on the stock price. So yeah, I do expect, and I think the market is also fearing, that most of these names will just use the huge increase in share price to raise money at a premium valuation, which, let's be honest, is the correct thing to do, right? This is your job. If your stock is worth way more than what your company is actually worth, then yes, your job is to raise as much money as you can, use that momentum, raise cash, and continue your development. It makes total sense, and yes, it does dilute shareholders, but then again, when your stock is up over 1000%, it makes sense. So that's about it. Then we also had this that we discussed previously: the AI options mania migrated to quantum stocks. There's a difference here between Nvidia and quantum computing stocks. We can see that quantum computing stocks here, the daily call volume were at, well, over 2,500% a month ago, compared to Nvidia's peak here, which was just above 400%. This was, well, extreme, let's say, momentum, greed, whatever you want to call it. So let's discuss it a little bit further. If you enjoy this type of videos, leave it a thumbs up, subscribe if not, we really appreciate that. If you want to support me even further, do check out the links down in the description and in the pinned comment with the top 10 best stocks to buy now, or go to fool.com/couchinvestor. Thank you very much. Just a quick reminder, if we look at EV to sales for the popular companies, right, the IONQ, quantum computing, D-Wave, Rigetti, I mean, in the next 12 months, it's extremely expensive. Of course, now that they are down 40%, the forward metrics here did come down, but still, even right now, these are super expensive, pricing in years and years of future growth. So yeah, first of all, congrats to everyone that did buy around these stages right here, and a huge congrats if you managed to actually sell the top. Switching to what Nvidia CEO said. Now, it's quite easy to find these types of things. I use Koifin, there's a link below. You go to transcript search, you write Nvidia, and then you look for a specific term. In this case, I looked for the word quantum to see what happened, and it gave me exactly what I wanted to see. So the analyst asks here: thanks a lot for hosting the meeting, really appreciate it. Jensen, you guys have made some announcements on quantum computing. Can you share with us your view on how this technology develops over time, what your strategy is? And longer term, pick the time frame 5, 10, 15 years. What is the difference between what quantum computing will be doing versus accelerated computing platforms that you have? So Jensen responds: quantum computing can't solve every problem. It's good at small data, big compute, big combinational computing problems. It's not good at large data problems. It's good at small data problems. And the reason for that is because the way you communicate with a quantum computer is microwaves, and terabytes of data is not a thing for them. And so just working backwards, there are some very, very interesting problems that you could use quantum computers for, truly generating a random number, cryptography. So these are problems that are small data, big compute. And working backwards, we're a computing company. We're an accelerated computing company. And as you know, we work with CPUs. We obviously built Grace. We're not offended by anything around us. Continue by saying, and we just want to build computers that can solve problems that normal computers can't. And so in the case of quantum computing, it turns out that you need a classical computer to do error correction with the quantum computer. And that classical computer better be the fastest computer that humanity can build, and that happens to be us. And so we are the perfect company to be the classical part of classical quantum. And so we are working with just about every quantum computing company in the world is working with us now. And they're working with us in two ways. One, this quantum classical, we call it QUBT. So we're extending QUBT to quantum. And they use us for simulating the algorithms, simulating the architecture, creating the architecture itself, and developing algorithms that we can use someday. So right now, overall, quite positive, or I would say not negative. But here's the part where I think impacted those stocks. When is that someday? We're probably somewhere between, in terms of the numbers of qubits, 5 orders of magnitude or 6 orders of magnitudes away. And so if you kind of set 15 years for very useful quantum computers, that would probably be on the early side. If you set 30, it's probably on the late side. But if you pick 20, I think a whole bunch of us would believe it. So this is basically the thing. He's basically said that whatever is happening right now, well, it will only be useful 20 years from today. So I know everybody's saying, oh yeah, but I'm investing in the future, long-term investor, etc., etc. Fine. But 20 years, you're already paying prices that are already pricing in years and years of future potential revenues. Because again, as I said in previous videos, if you really want to play the quantum computing, let's say, industry game, why not just go with the big tech players? I understand that the big gains, as we've seen the last couple of months, are made with those smaller ones. But those are small and short-term gambles, in my opinion. Yes, one of them might be extremely successful 10, 15 years from now. But if you truly want to invest in quantum computing, then in my opinion, you should go with the big players. That's about it. So yes, I do think that one of these comments had an effect on those stocks, plus the raise, plus probably some red momentum in the market as well. Combine all of that and you get a 40% crash in one day. But then again, we've seen a 50% increase in one day as well with these types of stocks, since, let's be honest, these stocks are momentum stocks right now. You might even call them meme stocks. So as they go up a lot, they can come down quite quickly as well. Remember, these are still money-losing companies. No matter how fast they're growing their revenue, they're still losing quite a lot of money each and every quarter. Doesn't matter how many announcements you can see on social media from people that want to continue to pump these types of things, does not matter. This really resembles what we've seen in 2021, where week after week, companies did announce this, did announce that, but at the end of the day, do these announcements actually make them make more money? Do these announcements actually accelerate their road towards profitability, towards generating billions of dollars in revenue? Yes or no? In most cases, the answer here is very, very simple: no. And by the way, this was Rigetti specifically. We've talked about that in the previous video. Sometimes, yes, sometimes you can look at insider trading. In this case, there has been, well, quite a lot of insider selling. And to be honest, I mean, why not, right? When your stock is up 1,500% and even more in a matter of months, yes, maybe secure the bag and think about yourself. Which is, of course, exactly what retail shareholders should do as well, right? If insiders are allowed to sell their own stock when the stock is up over 1,000%, why shouldn't you be allowed to do the same? Just makes sense, right? Put money in your pockets, and that's about it. So overall, that's all you need to know. I think at the moment, if there are further developments, I'll probably do an update video. So those are my thoughts. I'm not wishing for you to lose 90% of your investments or anything like that. No, but the reality is these things were super overextended, and well, it's time to get back to reality here. So that's about it. Do share your thoughts down in the comment section below, like, subscribe, all of that, and I see you all in the next one. Bye bye.